Alright, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle, and this is my top 10 favorite video games of 2014. Now, I've wanted to do a top 10 of a specific year for the longest time. I wanted to do it in 2011, 2012, 2013. They never materialized because the fall season is just always jam-packed with so many big games. Then there's, Black Friday, Christmas, Boxing Day. I was just always trying to play catch up. So finally, and even now, like I'm 2.5 months into the new year, but I finally have a list of top 10 games that I feel very confident with. There will probably be other games I pick up that are from 2014 that I would add to this list, but as it stands, I'm really happy with this list. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road with my number 10 spot, Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. Now, this is the Ultimate Evil Edition, which does include Diablo 3, but for number 10, I'm just including the expansion pack because Diablo 3 came out on consoles last year, 2013, and the year prior to that, 2012, the PC had it. So I'm not including Diablo 3. If I was, it would probably be a little bit higher on this list because I loved Act 1 and Act 2. But this is Act 5 with additional characters. I liked it. I really did enjoy it, just not as much as Diablo 3. But as a package, it's an awesome deal. Alright, number 9 is Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I enjoyed the Donkey Kong on the Wii, but I didn't really like the Wii controls. Whereas this, you can have the gamepad and the Pro Controller, which is awesome because then that means even if you're playing 2 players, you have a regular controller, you can press a button for when you want to do specific moves instead of waggling the remote. It's also, the Wii version is on the 3DS as well, and I like that because you actually press buttons. But anyway, that was the biggest addition for me in this game. But the rest of the game is very solid. It's difficult as hell. I love the Donkey Kong games. They are hard, and it looks fantastic on the Wii U. It's just the graphics, man. There's a scene at the beginning, and you're looking at Donkey Kong's fur, and you're just like, ugh, amazing. So loved this game. Tough as nails, though. Okay, my number 8 spot goes to Middleearth: Shadow of Mordor. When I saw this game coming out, I was just so excited, and when I got my hands on it, my grubby little hands, I really did enjoy this game. I think I would have enjoyed maybe a bigger landscape, but for what you do in this game is that you're basically in this giant area that's packed with a bunch of orcs, and you go around killing them, and when you die, the orc that kills you levels up and becomes stronger and becomes aware that you've died because your character, not only in the game, but also in the storyline, comes back to life constantly. And the orcs recognize this, and they talk to you, and they say, oh, you're coming back from the dead. Well, because I killed you, I'm stronger, and I'm just going to destroy you once again. I really like that aspect of this game, and I also like seeing when I take out an orc that is a high-level captain or something, I can see them die in the ranks. Like, they'll have this cutscene, and I just really like how I'm kind of like in this chess game with a bunch of orcs and trying to take on Sauron's army. I really enjoyed this game. And going back to Middle, it's probably the best Lord of the Rings game since Return of the King on the PS2 and Xbox. Like, that's saying something, in 10 years, it's the best one. All right, my number 7 spot goes to a game that I think a lot of people expected more from, and I agree with them, and that is Watch Dogs. And I'm not putting this here because of the campaign, because the campaign didn't really do it for me. But the thing that has got me coming back month after month is the online multiplayer, specifically when you're hacking into somebody else and playing the hide and seek. Oh my goodness. I recently just, like, every month, almost every month, I would go back to this and play it just for a few hours here and there. And I just, I think I put in 30, 40 hours in just the online. I loved the aspect of hacking into somebody, and then you have a circle on the map where it slowly becomes smaller and smaller as you get closer to the 100%. Every 25%, the circle gets smaller for where you're allowed to run around, and this other person that you've hacked is trying to find you and kill you. It is so intense that even without playing the game, you can watch it like a Let's Play and you'll just be getting that much excited. My girlfriend would watch me and she's like, I hate you when you play this game, because she gets so, you know, involved and scared that the person is getting closer and closer. I loved the multiplayer in this so much, just for the hide and seek aspect. I didn't even touch any of the other ones. I just loved that so much. All right. Number 6 is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, and I strongly recommend picking this game. If you liked the original Plants vs. Zombies, this is a third-person shooter, so it's obviously very different, but there is a section in the game where you can kind of play as if you're still doing a tower defense, just in third person with other people. It's such a cartoony and fresh. It feels fresh to me for third-person shooters. You know, instead of having a bunch of mature gore, blood, and all that stuff, that's great and all. Trust me, I like those kinds of games too. But it was just so nice to be playing this, you know, kind of fun-spirited third-person shooter. And there's classes here. They're all very different, and they upgrade as well. And I felt that was really fair as well. So I had a blast. Whoa! You say blast, and things just start popping out of your hands. So I had a blast with this game, and I strongly recommend picking it up because it's now on the PS4 and PS3 as well. So Xbox 360, Xbox One, it's all there. And it's cheap too. It's $40 brand new when it first came out, so you know, you probably could be able to find it for cheaper. Now we're getting into my top 5 games, and honestly, so many of these games that I played this year are very close in rating. They're all so good and so close to each other. There's nothing that was really outstanding, but these top 5, either of them could have gone, you know, in any position here. So my number 5 spot goes to a game that I think a lot of people were anticipating and could not wait for, and that is Super Smash Bros. Wii U. Everybody always says, what can you say about specific games? Like Super Smash Brothers, it's awesome. It's better than Brawl. It's better than... it's my second favorite Super Smash Brothers. We'll just put it that way. But it's improved. Technically, it is the best game overall, but I just have a soft spot in my heart for the original 64 version. I know, most people would think Melee would be my favorite, but no. 64 and then this one. But this is just, you know, fantastic. It looks great, plays great. The inclusion of having the Wii U adapter for the GameCube controllers looks freaking awesome. I haven't picked one up yet, but you know, it works great with the Pro controller, and they pretty much just included everything. So you can play this on any controller that the Wii U has. So I really like that option as well. But yeah, Super Smash Brothers. It's freaking awesome. Also, it's also really good on the 3DS. All right, number 4 is a game that surprised me. I was interested in it, and when I first heard about it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but man, after playing it co-op with my girlfriend and beating it all the way to the end, within just like a week, so good. Hyrule Warriors. Dynasty Warriors with the Legend of Zelda coat. That's all this is. And it's great. It's awesome. I just totally dug this, you know, killing a bunch of like hordes of enemies and, you know, going to these specific events. And it's very basic in terms of gameplay, but it's so much fun. It's just so fun to hack and slash through all these enemies and just going over and killing bosses as Zelda, as Impa, as Gorons, it's just so awesome. I really love this game. If you like Dynasty Warriors and you like Zelda, you should try this one out. It's freaking awesome. Number 3 is a game that came out earlier in the year, 2014, and was a throwback to old school RPGs, and that is Bravely Default on the 3DS. Now, I have had my problems with this game, more so in terms because by the time we get to the halfway mark, the game kind of just repeats itself and it becomes a little bit repetitive. However, I will say that the battle system in this for turn-based RPGs is one of the best ever, because you can fast forward and you can also just tell all of your characters to do specific moves right off the bat, and then you can just fast forward. Every battle you get into, you just press fast forward. You don't have to press any of the buttons as long as it's an easy battle, and it goes by so quickly. Grinding in this game is a blast. You just run around and it's so easy to grind, but not to mention when the boss battles get really intense, you don't fast forward anymore. You can kind of fast forward the motions, like so that they'll attack faster, but you choose specifically what characters you want to use. And I really liked also the classes. I think there's 32 classes in this game, and you can choose 2 classes per character. So 4 characters basically have 8 classes between them, and they work together, as in like one class will help another class, because one class will have, I can't remember that anymore because it's been so long since I played it, but one class I remember would allow you to not use any MP if you did one move beforehand. So it was really cool finding all these different classes that worked well together. I really enjoyed Bravely Default. I liked the story. I just didn't like that it kind of repeated itself by the end. If that wouldn't have been included in this game, and this game would have been, you know, just a little bit shorter so you didn't have to go through all this repetitive stuff, it would be higher on the list. I really enjoyed Bravely Default. If you like old school RPGs, you owe it to yourself to pick that game up. Okay, number 2 is one of the reasons why I bought the Xbox One. And honestly, the campaign mode is horrible. They shouldn't have included it. They just should have kept it multiplayer. But anyway, the multiplayer is great fun, and that is Titanfall. Now, the single player campaign is kind of included in the multiplayer, and it's just added there kind of as background noise. And I only say it's a negative because they kind of make it seem as if certain scenes were really good. It's all happening in the background. You're running around and you're killing people, but there's a storyline that's going on in the background, and you can't pay attention to any of it. But that's not where this game is at. It's at the multiplayer. So I just think that they should have not included a campaign at all if they didn't go full force with it. But the multiplayer, the Titans come down, and it's still so fun today to run around on, you know, basically parkouring, you know, because you have jets and you can kind of run on walls like Spider-Man, and then jump and then call down a Titan, and the Titan falls down, and you jump in and you run towards it, and the Titan falls. The Titan just grabs you and puts you into the chest, and it's just like, it's so fun. It's I don't know. It's a great first-person shooter. And I love the addition of the Titans. I like that also that you're not really that weak if you are just running around as the human waiting for your Titan. You can actually take down Titans. I feel that it's very balanced, and I enjoyed the hell out of Titanfall. Alright, my number 1 spot. But before we get into the number 1 spot, I just wanted to say that just like Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition, I'm not including any games that came out prior to this. So if it's a remake or something like that, I won't include it. But I just have to mention one game because it would be my number 1 spot if I included remakes and remaster editions. And that is Halo: The Master Chief Collection. This game had its problems at the beginning in terms of multiplayer, but right from the beginning you were able to play the campaign 1 through 4 in their entirety, remastered, HD, beautiful, and then the multiplayer. Once the multiplayer finally got fixed, and that's where I'm really talking about, because when the multiplayer works, which it does now, it is awesome. Being able to play Halo 2 once again, multiplayer, is such a treat because I started playing and, you know, the muscle memory was just there. Boom, I knew where to go. I knew where all the, you know, all the sword was, the rocket was, the shotgun was, everything. I knew where to run around if I had the flag. I knew where to drop in if I had the bomb to do assault. Everything just came back to me. And the maps in Halo 2 are so freaking good. But then being able to play Halo 1 multiplayer it's different. But Halo 3 and Halo 4 included in this as well. And you can play any map from any of them. 1, 2, 3, or 4 is just so much fun. So I just really wanted to give a shout out for this game because now that they finally fixed the multiplayer, before it would take forever to, it would take, I think I played maybe a handful of matches in the first day, and I played for 12 hours, waiting in line patiently. I would go back and play single player with my brother on the first day, but it took a few weeks before it finally became you know, a decent multiplayer experience. But now it's about 5 minutes in between waits, if not shorter, so it's normal now. I just really wanted to mention that before we get into my true number one. And that game is... Nintendo's just been on a roll this year. You know, if you don't have a Wii U, there's so many exclusives for that system. If you liked other, you know, Nintendo properties beforehand, I think it's worth picking up now. You know, you're not going to get any multi-platforms on it, but the terms of exclusives, you can't get these anywhere else, and they're just so much fun. And you go back to old series that they've worked on before, but they perfect it, in my opinion, and that is Mario Kart 8. Arguably the best Mario Kart. It's so hard because every Mario Kart has a little bit of flair to everything else, but this one just feels so polished. It just feels complete. And being able to go upside down in the water, you know, hovering and stuff like that, it's really cool. I really like this game. I like the Super Horn edition because the Super Horn is the only thing, I believe it's the Super Horn, I think it is the only thing that will work against the blue shell. The blue shell is coming at you. You got a Super Horn, that's fine. It gets close to you, boom. Stop the blue shell. That's awesome. But it looks beautiful as well. I don't care that these aren't, you know, as nice of graphics as the Xbox One and PS4. What they do is the art style and 1080p. Nintendo does 1080p like a boss. They're just... You want exclusives? Boom, we're gonna give them to you. You want 1080p, you know, and no screen tearing or anything like that? Boom, got it. You want a game that is not broken when you first pick it up? Boom, here you go. Nintendo, you've been on a roll, and as you saw, quite a few games out of my top 10 were Wii U games. I'm just trying to get them. Also, Nintendo, Bravely Default, Hyrule Warriors, Super Smash Brothers, and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. They're all there, and exclusives that you can only play on the Wii U. So I just really feel that the Wii U has an awesome library, and I just wish that more people could experience them because they have great games on here, and they're really worth checking out. So there is my top 10 list of video games that I enjoyed the most in 2014. Quite a few of them had some problems, but overall the experience I just really enjoyed, and they outweighed the negative aspects of them. I'm looking at this and like, you know, Watch Dogs has a problem, had some problems with it. Not Diablo, but what's the other game? Titanfall. There's a few games here that had problems, but overall they really impressed me. Like I said though, there wasn't really, even though Mario Kart was my number one, there isn't really a game that I thought really stood out this year. You know, previous years I would always say, you know, oh, these like 3 games, my goodness, they're like some of the best games that I've ever played. I really didn't feel that like that this year, other than maybe the Halo Master Chief Collection, but that's a remastered and a compilation, so that doesn't really count. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think I might have missed. What's your top 10 games? I actually really want to know because I want to know what other games I need to play this year. So thank you all for watching. You've been Bearded In. Beardage!